I guess he's making his debut on Galaxy Television. Right.
Exactly. And to think that he's got this AAA thing going on for him, but his name is AAA, his business is AAA. Okay, enough of it. His name is Ade Adefemi, representing AAA, and he's a certified business and life coach. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Uche. Good morning, Justin.
Good
it's
to
good
have
to be
you.
here.
Okay, I like the sound of AAA. It looks
like
like,
it
you know,
too.
the days of WAEC. Whenever you see A, or
Also-
those days of school, you see A, you just feel like one kind of, you know, I'm an excellent student.
Okay,
You know,
so let me ask you, how many A's did you get back in the day?
Be
Oh,
honest.
come on. I can actually count. I remember I had about
Let's go.
3 A's.
Just
3 A's?
Yes.
In what
and
subject?
then,
no matter.
Oh,
of course, English, literature,
Literature.
and then
Home
government.
economics.
And government.
Yes.
You're my kind of girl.
Oh, yeah.
Chop knuckle.
Thank you. Just
Just know about
it comes
you.
natural.
How many A's did you get? Because we got similar A's. I mean, mathematics was not an A for me as
I
well.
sat for 7 subjects and I got 4 A's and 3 C's.
Bad guy.
C's or B's?
They didn't have B's then. I thought, okay, you.
There was B. We had B's then.
Wait. Justin is
When?
old though.
No, we didn't have B's.
Justin
then.
is
No,
old.
we had A, C.
Justin,
and
you are
pass and
exposing
F.
your age,
A,
you.
C.
Justin, you're exposing your
B7,
age.
B8 and F9.
You're exposing your
C4,
age.
C5.
You're exposing your age.
I'm not proud of it, by the way. I had A1, A2, A3, C4, C5, C6, P7, P8, and F9 back in the day.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I'm
seriously.
not that
What year was it? 70 what?
I left high
70
school.
what?
Come on. I left high school 97.
That sounds like my uncle's
97.
age, my uncle's time.
I'm not that ancient. No.
And it's seriously searching.
So I have 4 A's and 3 C's. You know.
Which is good. And
Interesting.
A's, I'm sure mathematics was one of them.
Yes, I did.
Accounting was one of them as well.
Yeah. How did you know? And commerce.
Commerce was one of them.
Interesting.
And
And I had
economics.
government as well.
Government.
Yes.
So you're a numbers man.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
he is.
accounting. Yeah.
You're a numbers man. That's
Yes, I
good.
am.
That's good. Well,
Okay, let's move the spotlight away from Justin to AAA.
all right. So
Now, I know that performance obstacles is something that happens to everyone.
Yeah,
At
true.
every given phase of life. In fact, coming this morning, I had performance obstacles.
tell
coming
me
in
about
this
it. I have performance obstacles
morning.
this morning as well.
So, and I think my ears are itching to know how to overcome. In fact, if you ask me maybe how to really avoid these obstacles, if possible, but let's look at overcoming these obstacles.
Okay, so basically, you know, life is filled with good and it's filled with bad. Literally, everything we do at every stage in life, you face the good and the bad. You cannot necessarily say that avoid the bad. You know, a wise man once said that good seas make no great sailors. Great sailors are made in the turbulent seas. That's when you know the bad guys. The good skies don't make great pilots. You know, when it's in turbulent, that's when you need a great pilot at the helm of the cockpit. So to be able to navigate through all those challenges. So basically, you need challenges. Literally, let me first of all say,
do need challenges.
you need challenges.
I thought I just
need
want
challenges.
I would have just preferred a smooth sail.
Yeah, we all do, my brother. We all do. But the truth is, challenges are necessary for us to grow.
Okay.
You know, somebody also said that a comfort zone is a lovely place to be, but it's a place where nothing grows. You know, you're there, it's nice, you're rocking your chair, and you're just feeling, you're chilling, but you don't exactly grow. Why? Because you're not dealing with any challenges. Success comes, growth comes after you have overcome challenges and obstacles. So the question is, will there be challenges? Will there be obstacles in 2018? Yes, there will be. Yes, there will be. I mean, even our daily lives, we just talked about obstacles getting to work. There are basic obstacles, simple obstacles that we face with life generally. And then because we face those obstacles, we just must learn how to navigate through those obstacles, or sometimes surmount those obstacles, and sometimes break through those obstacles, whatever it is that needs to be done to get to where we're going. So you need the obstacles, they make you stronger, they make you better. So that's first thing. So you need obstacles. Now, one of the major obstacles, and the obstacles that I feel that we should look into going into 2018 that can affect our performance.
Yes.
One of the first things that we must realize is that last year's success is an obstacle.
Last year's success.
Yes.
How can success be an obstacle?
Yes. You know, most people don't realize it that if you are focused too much on last year's success, you get into a comfort zone, and then you do not necessarily push yourself to achieve new things in the new year. So you had a great year last year, fantastic. It ended on 31st of December 2017. That's the end. Now I always tell people that the obstacle to your next trophy was your last trophy. Now, if you're a football person or you're a sports person, you notice that a lot of times clubs or countries, especially clubs, who won the league last season tend to be a bit
lackluster.
Yeah, by the next season, because they're like, they're still living in the they're still basking in the ambience of the euphoria of last victory. So look at Chelsea, for instance. No apologies to all Chelsea fans. I don't know if I'm an Arsenal fan anyway. So now look at Chelsea for instance. They were unstoppable last season. I mean, they were on top. But this season, how are they? The same players. In fact, they've added even better players, but they're still struggling. Why? Because there's just something about the last year's success. There's something about the last success that you had. And if you don't quickly remove the trophy and go and put it in a place where you can't see it, and start afresh as if you didn't win anything last year, you might end up halfway into the year and realize that you haven't gotten anything done, because you feel like, after all, I'm still the reigning champion. Reigning champion ended 31st of December. So that's the first thing you must realize. Last year's success can be a challenge. Now, the second thing for 2018 is we have to look at the issue of self-sabotage.
Sabotaging yourself?
Yes. A lot of people, that's one of the major challenges to your performance at any time, is self-sabotage. There are some things that you do, some habits that you carry out that has a way of impeding your own success. So take, for instance, procrastination is self-sabotage. There are some other habits, maybe time, not keeping to time is self-sabotage. Sometimes people see they are succeeding, and all of a sudden, because of certain fears, they begin to sabotage themselves unknowingly. Sometimes self-sabotage is subconscious.
What about complacency?
It's self-sabotage as well.
Okay.
So you're sabotaging yourself. You're sabotaging the success that you're supposed to create for yourself and the performance you're supposed to bring on board. So you need to look at that as well. How am I sabotaging myself?
How about fear?
Yes, I was coming to fear. But fear is, I didn't want to put fear under self-sabotage because fear is on a different scale on its own entirely. So, but we'll come back to fear. But still speaking about self-sabotage, you need to look at, okay, so what are the things I am doing to stop myself from succeeding? How am I stopping myself? How am I being my own number one enemy? A man once told me, I think a pastor of mine way back, once told me, he said that the enemy is not the enemy outside. The enemy is the enemy in me.
Okay.
So what it means is that the greatest enemy that you have is not your brother, it's not your sister, it's not your mother-in-law, it's not your it's not your mother's
your mother-in-law.
No, your stepmom.
Okay.
It is the enemy in me.
Okay.
I am the main problem. If I can conquer myself, if I can deal with myself, if I can get myself through the things that are holding me back, I can do much more. The other guys, yes, it's not that the factors around the country aren't there. And if you notice from the things I'll be sharing, I wouldn't mention anything that is environmental. I wouldn't mention the government. I wouldn't mention your job. I wouldn't mention your family. The focus has to be you. Now, there's something that's called the locus of control.
Okay.
Now, the locus of control is a psychological term. It talks about there are two things that control your life, two basic factors, the external locus and the internal locus. Now, the external locus is focused on your environment, your family, your job, your boss. Now, there are some people who live by that external locus of control. They allow the environment around them determine what happens to their lives. But there are some other people who live by the internal locus. Now, the internal locus is you, your decisions, your goals, your drive. Now, everybody who lives by the internal locus are the ones that most times stand out. They're the outliers. They're the people who achieve what they want. Why? Because they're not allowing the environment, whoever the environment is, stop them We all know the government, we all know the situation in Nigeria, we all know. But in this same situation, people are building houses. In this same situation, people are buying cars. In this same situation, people are growing in their businesses. Why? Because they've focused their mind on themselves and said, listen, I'm the one to be able to bring out the result that I need. And not all these things are there, but I have to break through, I have to push through.
I like that. I like the fact that you're dealing with this. Okay, I like us to also look at this aspect, like you said, fear now. But aside of fear, I mean, there are some people who, I don't know, some people say I need to be pushed to do something. And some people say something like they don't know it is there. They have probably an underlying talent, and then probably because of the circle of friends they're keeping or the kind of people around them, one way or the other, they're unable to launch out. People like that, how do they overcome such obstacles?
Okay, so first of all, I'll still refer you back to what I said just now. Now, I talked about the locus of control. First of all, you need to move from the external locus to the internal locus if you want to achieve anything worthwhile. And if you want to sustain success, your drive must come from within. Now, the most powerful goals that you can set, and I will talk about that when I talk about compelling goals, which is the next thing I actually wanted to mention, compelling goals. The most powerful goals are goals that are internal. They're goals that drive you from within. Now, a lot of times people struggle with their goals because they are trying to set the goal and they're trying to drive the goal from outside in. Not allowing the goal drive them from inside out. How do you do that? What you need to do is set your goal in a way that is programmed in your subconscious mind. Now the mind is broken into two. Excuse me. The mind is broken into two. There is a conscious and the subconscious mind. Now the conscious mind is what you use in making decisions. It's the one that you use in deciding how to match your cap with your outfit, right? Now your subconscious mind, on the other hand, is where anytime you have mastered a thing, it stores in your subconscious mind. And at the subconscious level, it begins to drive your life. Now, out of 90% of your life's capacity is controlled by your subconscious mind. Now, if you set your goal and you program it to your subconscious mind, what it means is that your subconscious mind sets up what I call the APM. Your APM is your autopilot mode, where you begin to operate on autopilot, that you yourself, you're not conscious that you are driving towards that goal. But because it is already a program, because at the basic end of every human being, we are all just machines. That's the truth. Internally, we are machines. We are designed in a certain way, and there's a mechanism in which we work. And if you understand that mechanism, you can use that mechanism to your advantage, rather than allow the environment use the mechanism against you. Because that's what's going on with a lot of people. Now, first of all, you don't need anybody to push you. Secondly, whatever talent that you think you have, you might not know that you have. So, and then you feel, okay, I'm not achieving much because I feel I'm not as talented as possible. Now, you have to realize that every human being is empowered with strengths. God has put it in each and every one of us. We have something we're carrying. I think I was watching one of these celebrities, and she's an actress. And they were asking her about, do they expect to see her sing recently? And she said something profound, and I liked it. And she said that she believes every gift, God has given human being every gift, not to go and lock it up, but to express it at some time. She doesn't know when she'll express that gift, but she knows that it's not meant for her to just lock it up. If she can sing, if she actually knows that she has a good voice, it could be to sing in the choir. Take, for instance, I love children, but that's not my job. So I serve in my church and I teach kids there. So that's a way of expressing that gift. So it's not everything that is supposed to be business, literally. It's not every of your gifts that you express that you make money from. Some of them you just do them for the fun of it, just to enjoy it, just to express it.
But they must be used.
They must be used, that's the point.
So you don't just have to keep all your Latin talent just stocked within you. It has to be portrayed out to people.
There are 1,000,001 platforms out there. Volunteering. Why don't we consider volunteering in this country? There are 1,000,001 ways platforms to volunteer, to help, to do stuff, just for free. I mean, something that it's given to you freely.
Okay, just to remind you that you can still be a part of this conversation, follow us on Facebook and of course interact with us there, and use the hashtag Galaxy Today. You can also do that on Twitter and of course Instagram. I can see messages already flowing in. Several people have written us and good morning and God bless you for this topic. It was made for me. That's Mercy from Lagos. Someone also said that sometimes we need prayers to overcome challenges of performance in 2018.
Yeah, so I'm not a pastor, so I'm not going to go into the spiritual angle of things, but he is right. I mean, everything Yorubas will say that the good things need prayer, even the bad things also need prayers. Yeah. I mean, the bad things need prayer, even the good things also need prayer. Okay. So basically everything you do, you should pray. I mean, you should, there's a spiritual angle to every human being, and then you should explore it. You should pray to God to help you on every challenge that you're facing, you understand? So, but beyond prayers, there are steps you also must take, because prayers are a way to stir up your spiritual side to things. But there's a physical side, there's an emotional side, there's a psychological side to your life as well. So you must prepare yourself in those areas.
So there's absolutely nothing wrong in one trying to outdo himself. Could there be a bad side to it?
To outdo yourself?
Yes.
First of all, your number one competition is you.
Okay.
Your number one competition has to be yourself. You don't focus on, I personally, I don't. I have a lot of colleagues in the industry. I don't focus on what anybody is doing. I mean, everybody has their call, their drive, and whatever it is they're doing, and their reasons. So my focus is on me and what God has put in me to do. So every time I'm trying to improve on myself, to get better, there's what you call the kanai. It's called constant and never-ending improvement. You must have a mindset of a kanai, constant and never-ending improvement, where you are consistently improving, because improvement brings you satisfaction. It brings you progress. When you improve, you're progressing, and you can see that you're progressing. You see you're getting better, and that alone has a way of keeping you happy.
Okay, still talking about talent. I mean, a whole lot of people, some people can be multi-talented, and there's this issue of which should I launch out first. Like you said, an actress said she was asked if she could sing, and she said, well, she knows.
I didn't want to mention the name of the actress.
Yeah, that every gift has should be expressed. So in a situation whereby you're multi-talented, it looks like you can do like 7, 8, 10, 5 things at the same time, and there's this confusion of which to start with. I mean, some people believe that some talents are supposed to be in phases. Maybe you can dance and then you do it for a while and then you switch on. How would you? What would you suggest? How? Because to me that's also an obstacle. Getting confused on what to start with. How would you advise such people?
I agree with you. And now, a lot of people struggle with that because they lack the understanding of a calling. There's talent, there's gift, there's calling. There's a level of calling. Calling is what you were sent here to do. Okay. I believe every human being has a solution they are carrying within them that the world is yearning for. Now, God sent you embedded in your DNA is a solution that the world needs, a solution that Nigeria needs, a solution that Africa needs. Now, that solution doesn't have to be as grand as solving AIDS. Doesn't have to be as grand as finding the cure to cancer. It could just be as simple and consistent as giving people a good TV show in the morning. That can be a calling. There are people that you know in the media industry who have created a brand, created a powerful influence from doing what you guys are doing. Literally, I mean, don't mention any names, and all around the world. And these guys are powerful with influence. You understand? So your gift, I mean, your calling doesn't have to be like solving AIDS or solving cancer. That's first thing. Secondly, you also have to realize that because it's your calling, you should, how will I put this now? You can have 1 million talents, and raise up my hand here. I have a lot of talents. I had that struggle at some point as well. That, okay, which of the talents do I use? I think in the place of understanding your purpose is the first thing. Understand what you're designed to do. Now, most of the times, I found out that all those talents that you have tend to be useful in the area of your calling.
Yeah.
So when you find your purpose and you find your calling, those talents tend to come, they make sense at the end of the day. And like you said, there are phases. So in some phase, you use one more, and then the other, then the other, then the other. Now, I have a radio show. I have a talent to talk. I was born and raised by a broadcaster. You understand? Now, it could have been that, oh, okay, I could have, in fact, what am I saying? I'm a trained broadcaster. Now, I could have gone that line, but I didn't because it wasn't my calling. I found my calling, and then I have a radio show now. So I'm using that talent as well on the radio. And it's a radio show that is blessing lives, being a lot of usefulness, I mean, being very useful to a lot of people's lives. So everything tends to, God doesn't give you anything useless. Once you find your calling, your center, it has a way of every other thing just works together for that center.
But so, sorry, but there's also this notion that every call is for human benefit. It's not for selfish purpose. Right?
Definitely.
Okay, because I think a whole lot of people just think that you have a gift and it's just for me to, because I think God actually gives not for you to just consume. So I'd like you to shed light on it, because a whole lot of people think it's my gift and I want to use this gift. After all, your gift will make a way for you. You should pour me millions, give me 30 billion in my account, you know, as against using it for human benefit.
Okay, so what do we call human benefit? Literally, service.
Yes.
Right. Now, every service, there are services that are paid and there are services that are not paid for. So it depends. No, there are some services, and even the unpaid services, they are paid for in a way. Now, how do I mean? So take for instance, let's say I have an NGO and I'm feeding poor people. Where do I want to find the money? Somebody will have to give me money to serve the people, right? And as I'm serving people, I have staff that are working with me. They're not going to work for free. I'm going to have to pay them. I have bills to pay as well. So in the long run, in trying to serve the people, I also have bills to pay, and so my needs also have to be met. So there's nothing really free per se.
Yes.
Really.
Okay.
So either way, if you're giving out, you're also getting. Now, it's not don't get it twisted. Whenever you see anything being given out, something is coming back in one way or another.
All right, let's just take 1 or 2 messages so you could just wrap up so we can go into our next segment. Okay, a lot of people are still reacting. This one says, and AAA is doing justice to the topic. One must focus on oneself to improve. Performance is tied to attitude. Thumbs up, Charles Otuda. Okay, this one says, bros, nice one. I like, I can't really understand what you're saying. This is praise from Ikeja. The topic is a wonderful one, and it is made for me. Okay, this one says, how to start without monetary involvement. I want to be a lecturer, but has got no money to further my education. How do I start up this passion of mine?
I didn't hear the question.
He says he wants to go into lecturing, but he doesn't really have money to further his education. How does he achieve this particular, surmount this particular obstacle?
So the question I want to ask is, how bad do you want it?
Okay.
How bad do you want it? That's not an obstacle, that's an excuse.
Okay.
How bad do you want it? There are stories of people out there who get stuff done without necessarily, they challenge a lot of young people, and I see it every day. And it hurts me, it burns my heart. Yeah. Is that we make a lot of, we're looking for hand-downs, and we're looking for someone to come and give you stuff. And I need help, I need help. It's okay. But the truth of the matter is, if you really want it, you will go through hell and high water to get what you want. Once you've identified what you want, don't let anything stop you. Lack of money is an excuse. There's no such thing as lack of money. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. So, I mean, someone said, there's a story of a young man who went to a wise old man and asked him, I want to succeed. And he said, yeah, you want to succeed? Are you sure? So the wise old man took him to a river. So he thought the old man wanted to do jazz, power for him to be successful. The man said, let's step into the middle of the river. Step into the middle. The old man did like this. And then grabbed him. And then pushed him inside the water. Tried to drown the guy. The guy fought for his life. The old man literally tried to drown him. And then when he was almost losing all his energy and was almost losing all the breath, the old man pulled him out. And before you ask the question, said, what are you trying? The old man tried to drown him the second time. When the old man pulled him out the second time, he said, I said, are you mad? You want to kill me? He said, lesson number one. Why were you trying? What were you trying to do? He said, I was trying to survive. He said, fine. If you can chase success like you're trying to survive now, you will get it.